We have begun the process to issue that subpoena. We have other remedies, too, to try to force the Attorney General. We can eliminate his office budget. There are a number of things we can do, which we will do.
The House Judiciary Chairman right there, Jerry Nadler, confirming overnight he will subpoena Attorney General William Barr for testimony early next month after the abrupt removal over the weekend of Geoffrey Berman, the top prosecutor for the Southern District of New York. Tom Dupree joins us now, a former Deputy Assistant Attorney General under President George W. Bush. Tom, good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
First of all, do you think Bill Barr cares? Because the Democrats it seems to me, have been trying to impeach him from day one.
Well, I think he cares about the proper functioning of the Justice Department. I don't think he particularly cares about what the Democrats on the bill say. It's a bit surprising to me that the Democrats are taking this aggressive posture. I think they have to know that by subpoenaing the Attorney General, they're inviting a fight, possibly one that ultimately will get elevated to a federal court.
And on your point, Jim Jordan, obviously the top Republican on Nadler's panel, had this to say: the Attorney General had already previously agreed to appear voluntarily back in March before you canceled the hearing, Mr. Chairman, due to the coronavirus pandemic. Attorney General Barr remains willing to testify voluntarily once the pandemic concludes. Accordingly, there's no legitimate basis for you to compel his testimony at this time. So I understand Jim Jordan's point, which is Bill Barr has already said, I'm going to come up there. It's because of the pandemic that he has it. But on the other hand, have facts on the ground changed that would compel Bill Barr to come up earlier?
Well, I think the stakes have increased by a lot. Obviously, when the Attorney General originally agreed to appear, none of this was on the radar screen. But I think in the events of the last few days, the late night firing of the U.S. Attorney, the questions swirling around why the Attorney General wanted to make a personnel change at this time, I think raised a lot of questions. And so whereas the Attorney General might have been willing to appear voluntarily a month or two ago, I think the world has changed significantly since that time.
The world may have changed significantly as well since the confirmation hearings for Bill Barr. When you go back to 2019, he made a promise about not firing U.S. attorneys who were overseeing important investigations. Let's play that and give you a chance to watch and react.
You referred earlier to the possibility of firing a United States attorney. Would you allow the president to fire a United States attorney and thereby stop an investigation?
I would not stand by and allow a U.S. attorney to be fired for the purpose of stopping an investigation, but the president can fire a U.S. attorney. They're a presidential appointment.
So did the Attorney General break his word, or did he have some wiggle room there by saying a U.S. attorney shouldn't be fired for the purpose of stopping an investigation, and maybe he can claim now there were other factors?
Right. I think he was definitely trying to create some wiggle room there. There might be a mix of factors that led to the removal of a particular U.S. attorney. But look, I mean, I don't think the administration could be happy with the way that all of this went down, because it's given the Democrats a lot of ammunition to suggest that this was, in fact, an attempt to quash ongoing investigations. It's possible that the Attorney General would look to a chance to come and tell about in public, chance to testify in Congress as to exactly what he was thinking and why he made the decision that he did. But again, the way that they did this in the dead of night, I think raises a lot of questions that the Democrats are now going to be beating the drum about in the weeks to come.
And as part of that Friday night into Saturday drama, Bill Barr's original intention as Attorney General was to bring in, he was saying that the president was going to nominate the current SEC chairman to become the U.S. attorney. The Democratic senators here in New York have already said they're not on board with that. And guess what? Lindsey Graham, normally a big supporter of Bill Barr and the president, is saying he's going to give the Democrats their say in this, saying as to processing U.S. attorney nominations, it has always been the policy of the Judiciary Committee to receive blue slips from the home state senators before proceeding to the nomination. As chairman, I have honored that policy and will continue to do so. So final thoughts. It seems like even Lindsey Graham is closing the possibility of the president getting his pick here. Your thoughts?
Well, and that's the irony of all of this, Ed, is that the administration has taken a political hit for the way that this played out. And at the end of the day, they're not even getting their preferred candidate into the job. As you point out, it looks as though Berman's deputy is now going to take over. Senator Graham has said he'll defer to the New York senators as far as who the replacement is. And so it seems as though the administration has needlessly absorbed a political hit in hopes to make this personnel change.
All right, definitely. We're going to see where all the pending investigations that the U.S. Attorney was overseeing, where they're all headed before the election as well. Tom Dupree, thanks for coming on.